What's up YouTube, this is Get a Whale and you're watching Backcap, the source for all your competitive TF2 coverage. This is episode 22 and we'll be covering the week of the 9th to the 15th of April with clips from TeamFortress.tv. Let's get into it. Last weekend was the first of the 4 qualifier cups for DreamHack Summer. The group stages were played on Saturday and the winners went on to play Sunday against 4 invited Prem teams. ESEA lower bracket finals are played on Tuesday between Froyotech and Street Hoops Esports, but due to internet issues, the match will be replayed in the future. In the news, we had off-season roster shuffles for running with Scizors in ESEA, and big shakeups mid-season for Ego in OzFortress. Let's check out all the action, starting off with Saturday. We'll start off with a brief bit of news before jumping into the DreamHack Qualifier. ESEA Invite Team running with Scizors have lost their standout scout Sen, who left to play on a different team with friends. Sen's strong performances on both Scout and Sniper helped propel Running with Scizors to a 6th place finish in their debut season of Invite. The team will be looking to pick up a flank Scout in the interim before the next season starts. Now for the first DreamHack Qualifier, sponsored by TF2 Cups.
Just go in with it and use it. And there's so many people going in from Lego here. They're being super aggressive and they're not really dying fast enough. There's just a ton of pressure coming on, and if Lego start playing the point pretty soon, they can see Top 5 Rocket being in a ton of trouble, and now they're playing the point. This is going to force everyone down onto it. People are going down there, but Dr. Phil has these stickies down on it, and that's going to be it. Umbrex is trying here. He actually gets the Uber and saves it, and then he walks off the point. Why? No. But I don't think Top 5 Rocket are pushing. At least they had a pyro. Okay, no, they all switched off, so they are pushing off of this. Both teams just playing off of these small advantages. Hellbeck has already spawned though, but here comes Korvac, just catches out Dr. Phil. Oh my god! And Primsilla drops. Oh wow, that's a huge turn of events. That was a pretty bad drop too by Primsilla. He saw that coming, I think. Well, at least he should have. But yeah, Korvac just continues to kill everyone. That was a 4K on that server. All survived pretty much, but you know, I feel like it's pretty defeatist to just play that passively.
Yeah, I've missed the start of the mids for what their scouts are doing, but okay, Blitzo manages to just pick up Perm and ramp room there. He just jumps in through the little window and just 2 shots Perm. I think that was incredible from him. He's got.
Both teams lose 1 player, which should be enough for Lego to just get mid here, you know, because of the Uber. The threat of it, at least, is still in there. As Josh completely destroys Enjoyed.
Blitzo's on the Backcap as predicted, and he looks like he's going to get it.
Yeah.
That was incredibly close. Blitzo's in last. Dr. Phil's up in 2 seconds. He is probably not going to be able to stop it. No, he tried, but no. Blitzo getting the Backcap, getting the round for top 5.
Lego was playing with an altered roster compared to the regular season, up against the French squad of Top 5 Rocket. Lego played very aggressively, and Top 5 Rocket was only able to pick up 1 round on Gully Wash before Lego won 6-1. On Granary, the game was much more even with teams trading rounds. Strong play from Korvac on Top 5 Rocket kept his team in the game, but Lego was able to close out the game 3-2 and move on to the semi-final.
On the side, so they should get something here, but Grave taken out. It's very
oh my gosh, the Ninja's gonna
drop
Dreamboat. Oh, they spent so much time looking at Flip that they just got flanked from Riverside, and actually Ninja's gonna drop because I'm sure that he, the ping, he just 1 second, he had a bunch of health, the next second he didn't. But Muma and Banny doing such a good job pressuring this point, and they're gonna get the cap anyways because Publiclir just committed too many players for that drop from Ninja Nick, but a good play from Flip and the person that dropped him. Gonna last. All they're pretty much trying to do is delay this last cap because I think no matter what happens, they're gonna get it. Actually, nope. They're gonna wipe Publiclir. So that's a good game. There's only 50 seconds left.
My lord, Trucker just ran Widowmaker and got a 3K because, well, he doesn't have to reload with that. As long as he hits a shot, he can just continually click on people. He was perpetually clicking on them until they all died.
The American squad of the Jabronies faced off against Publiclir.se in the quarterfinals. As a side note, due to STV issues during the cast, players were invisible to spectators during matches with the Jabronies. Gully Wash was the first map, and Publiclir came out in force with a 4-0 lead in only 10 minutes. The Jabronies won 2 rounds before Publiclir hit 5, which kept them alive in the first map. Stellar play from Muma and the Jabroni scouts brought them all the way back to a tied game at 5 to send map 1 to a golden cap. The Jabronies completed the comeback by winning Gully Wash. Map 2 was played on Granary Pro, and Jabronies looked to have found their footing. They went up 3-1 early and did not relinquish their 2-round lead, winning 5-3 as time expired. Shrugger again played exceptionally well, which propelled the team into the semifinals against PCMR. Next up is Perilous versus Lego.
Probably a little bit more together.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned earlier, the Mercs like playing quite a factor into how Lego are playing, especially with their combo being pretty different as well. That's pretty huge, especially with how important that combo is for Lego. But let's see if they can keep the magic happening, as they are going to get Ubered into on last. But again, they're just Ubering for grounds, so it's like pretty even traders if you're Lego, especially with that pick onto Sideshow now. But they've got so much time. Lego finally going to try and block the point. Spuds picks off Zen. And actually, they're holding this one really well. Lego playing this middle really nice, this last really nicely. Ash going to try and get some damage going with Scrab. They're the final two remain. Phil can't really land anything onto them. Ash does get taken down by Sticky though. Scrab are going to run forward for the trade, but Sorix is going to pick him off with the pistol. Careful on stop. Let's see if Dr. Phil can be quicker to Spud the mid again. Nope, Spud's much faster, just as usual. As well as Sideshow going for this really deep bomb and takes down Dr. Phil. Huge for them. Let's see how they keep this pressure rolling. They're taking top, and Lego just back up.
Lego just gets straight out. Once you've lost your demo, that's pretty much it. You know, you can't really do too much after them. Especially when you're in a bad position when you've done it as well. Like, they were all still kind of hanging out in choke, and it was never going to end well for them if they hung around.
And with that middle secured, Perilous already on the second. Silenta's trying to go for a play onto Perm there, barely gets up by the skin of his teeth, like 10 HP. I think Sorix pushed him away to hit like a big meat on him, so he gets back up. And now, they've kept this second, and both Ubers are soon going to be into play. I think they're just going to wait for that before they start pushing in. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Well, earlier, you know, like how good he is at stopping stuff, but like Sideshow honestly does make like it's such an excuse. You know, I made so much room, but like Sideshow really does.
Oh, he
like,
genuinely does. Like, he really does. He actually plays this role. Like, he plays a role and he plays a style of Roma. And he's already on their last point
exactly. Here. This is so much room because it's a round. Like, there's no, you can't have more room than a round. He does get picked off, but after he caps it out 3-0, that's really going to be in Lego's head.
Perilous started off the match on Process with a dominant mid, eliminating all but 2 players. The rest of the map saw some back and forth action between the 2 teams, but Perilous remained squarely in control and they won 3-1. On Snakewater, Condom returned to play medic for Lego. Perilous scored 3 rounds before Lego took a round of their own. The game then became an active back and forth, with Lego being torn apart on middle, but still managing to hold last and push into second to keep themselves in the game before finally falling 5-2. After a close victory over the American team, PC Master Race faced off against Perilous Gaming in the grand final for a chance at €1,000 and a spot at DreamHack Summer.
And they're trying to get the damage into this pyro. They're taking a while to kill him, and Serotonin gets sent down to the bottom. Finally, meets with the rest of his play. Ash gonna pick off Potato. Meanwhile, Spud's getting a bunch of picks, although Settler does pick him up and actually kills Scrab as well. Pretty big last hold from him. Sticky Serotonin gets the kill onto him. Turns around, can he get onto Silenta? Scrab trying to get the swords, gets a mid-S1 and an air pipe. Settler, what a huge last hold from him.
Silenta's completely beefed up. They seem to play like a golden cap. But we are going to be going straight in. Perilous looking to play this very defensive off classes, but the Backcap was there! They just were not watching the point. The quickie bombs completely clearing off the point, really putting in work with that off that item unlock. He's going to have to work his way around. We do see him. Silenta's going in for that distraction play, and Grabber's on the ground. Oh! And Scizors gets the pick! He's finally done it after all this time. All of his training in Highlander has finally paid off, and that is exactly the pick that Perilous needed. They are 2 down, however, but they do have this massive Uber advantage to work off, and they can take all the time in the world for this.
They caught out Summit as well. That's absolutely disastrous. Denny is on the sniper, but he's looking the wrong way. Uber's going to be used from them with this huge advantage. They're just going to run straight onto the point and get the first round. They trick the spy play in the end. The long con works as Grabber puts Go Casino in chat.
My God.
Badlands opened with a strong 2-0 for Perilous, but PCMR brought themselves back into the game with strong play from Denia. The 5th round was very contested, but with 40 seconds left on the clock, Spud switched to Quickie Bomb Launcher and ran a set play where he destroyed the Stickies on last, which allowed both Perilous scouts to quickly rush the point to give them the map 3-2. AMS had subbed in on Pocket for the second map of Granary Pro. Sideshow opened up the first round with 3 consecutive lives on Spy, trying to push last before he backstabbed Grabba, giving Perilous the point. The game was closer than the score would suggest, with dominant mids from both teams, ending in 3-1 for Perilous with strong performances by the Perilous Scouts and Spud. Perilous claimed the prize money and a guaranteed spot at DreamHack Summer 2016. They will no longer be eligible to play in any of the 3 remaining qualifiers. ETF2L Season 23 champions Nerd Rage will take their place in the invitation bracket on Sunday. On Tuesday, Froyotech and Street Hoops Esports battled it out in a repeat of last season's lower bracket finals matchup. The winner would move on to play Ronin in the grand finals. The maps were Snakewater and Product, with Process as the decider. Froyo managed to score 2 rounds before internet issues plagued various Froyo players. It appeared that Banny, Clockwork, and Patty were all subject to internet trouble. The score was 4-3 in favor of Street Hoops before the match was cancelled. ESEA admins ruled that the match will be replayed from 0-0. Word of mouth from Banny and Shade's streams is that the match will be replayed on Monday the 18th. We'll make sure to keep you updated in next week's episode and on Twitter. Well, let's take a trip down under and check out the news from OzFortress. Due to external circumstances, Scout Faithless stepped down from Ego's roster. The change sparked a flurry of internal shuffles for the Australian squad, as Pocket Yuki picked up the scattergun to fill that empty spot. Roamer Aporia moved into Pocket, and the team picked up a new member in Nat, who will be roaming. Nat was last seen playing on second-place finisher Gossip Girl before that team folded. Well, that's all we've got for you this week at Backcap. Remember that the DreamHack Qualifiers are every other weekend, so no updates on that front next week. The ESEA playoffs will continue along with coverage of the OzFortress regular season. We appreciate your viewership, and we want to thank you for supporting the show. You can check out our Twitter at BackcapTeam. Make sure to tune in next week for all your competitive TF2 news. I'm Get a Whale, and we'll see you next time.